All right, would you repeat what you just told me, please?
Are we recording now? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, we're recording now.
Okay.
So,
Well,
what is the purpose of the recording, as you were just saying?
not to waste the fact that we're shut in because of the snowstorm. This is right now the 25th of January. The United
Nope,
States is undergoing
my picture's frozen.
a severe snowstorm. There's over 400,000 households that have lost power between Texas and Tennessee. And I thought, before we lose power, it would be nice to go ahead and get one of these bad boys in.
All right, let me shut down some other browsers I got going here because it's
I will.
slowing down. Seems to be slowing down my computer here.
Oh, well, yeah.
And,
Mm-hmm.
and a moment ago, while you were talking, it looked like my picture froze. At least on my screen here, I don't know if it froze everywhere. So one more. Okay, we're good. I hope.
Okay, so
Anyway,
here's the other thing. What do you know about that most recent shooting in Minnesota where the ICE agent shot?
the nurse.
No, no, not Miss Good, but somebody else.
No, the male nurse.
Oh, is that what he is?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's supposedly a good guy. This and that. Meanwhile, you see him.
it's not what I heard. I heard that his parents warned him not to go there and cause trouble.
Possibly.
No. That's something that has been reported as a truth. They basically, and it's almost an exact quote because I think they told the press that they said, please don't go there and cause any trouble. Like, basically, there seemed to be some concern that he's an instigator.
Yeah, he probably is because I saw a video of him just before he was shot. I saw a video of him, as they say, scuffling with several, not just one, several ICE agents. And then they got him down on the ground. He starts to get up. He grabs a firearm from a holster and starts bringing it up. And that's when the ICE agent who saw him do that fired.
Yeah, absolutely. I would do that too. Yeah, if that was the case, because I haven't. See, the problem with these things is the first 2 or 3 days you don't get the straight story.
No, because the media makes sure you don't.
Denied, held back, and it's always because, well, we're in the middle of an investigation. Meanwhile, the fucking entire country is going insane, but you're going to hold back on critical information. So
well, no. ICE gave out the information, but the media is not being honest with it because the media wants this shit to go on. The media wants people to turn against ICE and through ICE against President Trump. So they're withholding things, and they do that all the time. They'll withhold information for a couple of days, 3 days. Then it gets into the psyche of the crazies, and then no matter, you come out later with the truth, and you put it on page 6 instead of on the front page. And
that is the problem. The accusation lasts longer than the explanation.
Yes, there are still people who do not know that the Fine People hoax was a hoax, that even the New York Times admitted it, CNN admitted it, and then later on they went back to it again anyway. After having admitted it was a hoax.
Interesting thing is that this past week it was determined that the murder rate in the United States is the lowest per capita than it's been since the year 1900, 125 years. Yet, in the same paper that reported that particular data, in the same day, said that Trump is responsible for violence.
Yeah, when it's really Democrats, specifically Democrats running sanctuary cities and states that are responsible, because before Trump started doing these deportations, ICE agents would go to jails and prisons in different states. They didn't have to dress up in armored gear or anything. They'd pick up the illegals who were incarcerated because they had committed a crime and been caught, and then they would take them. No fuss, no muss. Now,
Right.
the sanctuary cities, no, they not only refuse to tell ICE that they're there, but they release these criminals that they've caught performing a crime. They release
Mhm.
them, and then ICE has to go into the streets to go get them. And now you got all these nut jobs out there most of them are being paid, or many of them,
Let's
I'd say.
let's
Okay.
not forget about the apps that tell you exactly where ICE is at the moment.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I saw some conservatives saying, "Don't forget to download the ICE reporting app. This way, you can report ISIS somewhere where they're not, and get all the crazies to go there and waste their time, and keep them out of the way,"
Well,
which is
the thing,
probably good.
the left is also suggesting that you report that there's a dangerous illegal in a location where he's not. The difference is that
To ambush ICE,
what?
to ambush ICE. One, two,
Well, just
to stop them from
occupy
doing their job.
possibly
Right.
first of all, that is actually against the law to falsely report that sort of stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, and these are federal agents, which means it's a federal crime, which means it's a lot heavier than a state crime in most cases. So, that's
Yeah.
but let's talk about something really good.
Okay, wait. Before you get to that, it reminded me when you said about the murder rate. You said you had your ex,
No,
who was
don't mention her.
okay. Well, you had somebody call up and complain.
Now we know who it is. No, I don't want
Anyway.
discussing it.
Well, okay. Here's why I'm bringing that up. I saw Gary Craig, I think his name is, say, do you ever think, was there ever a cop who was not able to hide his laughter when telling a woman that she had a right to remain silent?
Yeah, I get that one.
Okay, what was it that you said was you felt is important?
Trump has been successful in regards to Greenland. We now have permission to place our defensive systems there.
Yes, which is what we wanted to begin with.
Ultimately, that's all we were concerned about. Now, the thing is that Trump did
keeping
what he always
China out.
does. He asked for
keeping
more
China
than
and
he
Russia
wants.
out.
He asked for
What?
more than he wants, but hopes for.
Always.
And it gets exactly what he needs. He's amazing.
He wrote a book about it decades ago.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, I wear my MAGA hat all over the place, and people have been talking about this, and they're just absolutely amazed. And the thing is that people seem to forget that the woman that received the Nobel Peace Prize last year gave it to Trump
Physically.
because he felt that he was more worthy of the Nobel Peace Prize than she was.
Yeah.
That is a sign of a truly decent person to surrender the accolades or the whatever.
Reward.
Yes, and giving it to somebody who think is more worthy. That's nobility. That's the word I was looking for. So how was the snow at your end?
It's pretty heavy already. I would guess it's 4 to 6 inches already, I guess.
Right.
We already had the plows. We already had plows coming, taking the main, plowing the main drag here across the street in some building there. They plowed the main driveway there, and they plowed a little over here just the entry to this part of the complex.
I think
And
the South.
it's going to keep coming down all day, but they have to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be harder to get. If you do get 12 to 15 inches, it's going to be harder to move that than if you move 6 inches at a time. Okay,
that's what she said. So the thing is that I stepped outside. It was about 4 inches high, and I cleared the sidewalk, and I cleared my access way. And probably when this podcast is over, I'm going to step outside and do it again. and it basically, if you do it that way, because I have a postage stamp, I
Yeah.
have basically no more than a total of maybe, I would say, 80 feet that I have to clear. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's
So
better trying to dig out from 2 feet.
when I was up in Greentown, we had snow that was actually buried the car. So I
Buried the car.
buried the car. It was underneath the snow. So I was like,
I remember
but
that happening in the 70s, man.
well, that was not that long ago. That was I think that was around 2016, 2017.
Well,
So
there was.
anyway,
I remember one in 1992 or 93. Also, the same thing. Took a
hey,
long time to dig the car out. What?
let's give a shout out to all those first responders and those utility people, including the guys on the railroad that are working overtime. Let me tell you something. I used to do overtime in the railroad during emergencies, and it is brutal because the thing is that your support base is thinner because of the fact that nobody can get anywhere. If you make a mistake, it's compounded. So and you're waiting for the big whatever to break. If something really big happens, you're kind of screwed. And so you know the guys plowing, the guys getting all these things going, the guys running the buses, even though things are crazy. The ambulance drivers, the cops, firemen, whomever is going to
Yeah.
go out there regardless of the weather. Thank you very much. And just remember, no matter how safe you are, there is always an idiot out there that's out to get you.
Yes. Yesterday I thought that in years gone by, when we were younger, we were growing up, or even in our adulthood, our middle age and all, heavy snows. In our day, kids would go out and shovel driveways and help cars that were stuck on the road. I remember doing that with my friends. We'd be outside and some car couldn't move because the wheels were spinning. So we'd go and we'd give the guy a push. And then kids would build snowball forts, have snowball fights. They'd make angels in the snow. And so that was back then when the snow was as heavy all the time as it is today. But today you get a little light snowfall, like 2 inches, and they close the schools. But most of the kids don't go outside, or if they go outside, it's just for a little while. They stay home and they're on their electronic devices. They're on their phones, they're on their laptops, whatever. They don't, how shall we do it? How shall we say it? They don't help their neighbors and themselves by going out and shoveling an old lady's walk for a nominal amount of money. And they don't enjoy the outdoor air, the fresh air that's out there.
That's not the experience that I'm having. The other day I was driving down this one street. There's this big freaking hill where there's this park, and that hill was covered with kids, all going down the sledding and stuff like that. So I think that's still there. It's just that kids were kind of private then, and they're kind of private now. You don't really see them running around doing their stuff like because they're doing their own thing. They're in somebody's backyard. I mean, you didn't build the snow forts in front of the courthouse. You built them, in your backyard or in some open lot. So
even
it's
on
like
the sidewalk. On the sidewalk.
I remember
this way you had a clear view of the enemy fort.
this thing. No ice balls.
No ice balls. That was for the
No ice balls. I got a story to tell you. Now, do you know what there's a type of car out there? It's called the smart car. Are you familiar with it? Okay.
Yes.
It's a really tiny car. It's surprisingly expensive considering
Manny had one.
Yeah, I was at one point I was going to buy one. I was looking at the Yaris, I was looking at the smart car. The price was relatively the same, and at the same time the Yaris was more user friendly. So I ended up getting the Yaris, and it's still running today. So anyway, the thing is that so I'm driving down the road yesterday, and there's a left and a right lane, and the other opposite lane is coming down towards you, and I'm going that way. There's somebody going the wrong way. Now, this is not on a highway or anything. Going the wrong way on a major thoroughfare in my lane. I actually had to do a swing to get out of their way. I came very close to hitting the curb just to avoid a head-on collision.
Jeez.
And all of a sudden, and I'm looking in the side view mirror to see where he's going, and he's doing the same thing down the road to other people. But the thing is, he's slowly leaning in. I don't know what his story was, but
what do you mean leaning in?
Expect.
What do you mean leaning in to the other lane?
Well, here's the thing. He was in my lane, I would say about 70%. Okay? He was still one of his tires was still on the line.
Okay.
Probably
couldn't get it over.
So but it's a smart car. You can stick your foot out. Anyway, the thing is that so I had to swing to the side, and by the time I righted my car, I looked in the side view mirror to see where he went, and he was still doing it down the way, but he was slowly, gradually going into back into the proper lane. But it was weird. It wasn't like it was a constant pull. It was like a
instead of trying, stopping and then, like trying to go in one shot.
About it, he might have lost his steering. That makes sense. The way he was moving, I didn't think of it, but because we always tend to think of people being like just jerks, But if I'm losing his steering, I think he was losing his steering. That's how he ended up in the wrong lane.
When was this?
Yesterday.
Maybe he hit a big piece of ice that's still left over from last week. And broke the steering column.
Yep, who knows? But all I know is that happened to me. I don't know what caused it. I don't know if he was drunk. I don't know if he had a heart attack.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, it was like, it's a shock to my system, dude. I'm over there, I'm driving along, really not paying attention to the opposite side of traffic. Like I used to tell people, how can you tell a Navy SEAL from a regular person crossing the street, crossing a one-way street? And the answer is the Navy SEAL looks in both directions.
No, I was thinking of that.
Yeah.
I'm not a SEAL, but
if you're crossing a one-way street, if you're prejudiced and you go, well, traffic is only coming from one direction. The universe doesn't stop traffic from coming down the opposite direction and hitting you.
I saw a saying the other day. It said, "Knowledge is knowing that is looking down is looking up the street when you're crossing a one-way street. Wisdom is looking both ways."
Yes. So you and I are in agreement on that one.
Oh, definitely.
Presume nothing, expect everything, cross your fingers, and hope that you're aware. But remember that definition I had about what is a woman? The last time I mentioned it, I didn't mention the most important part, which is that we're presuming that person is in optimal condition based upon her sex. So like the definition is actually a creature that walks the earth, that has two legs, that walks the earth, that is fully functional and mature, and is a life support system for human fetus.
Under optimal conditions, yes. By the way, Quinn Daly had a good way of. He says he can tell a trans woman from a real woman all the time. He said, "Real women don't wear condoms."
Yeah. There was this. I was watching Chappelle, and he was talking about transvestites. He said they're gangsters. He said they're gangsters. You walk into a room and you go, "Talk to me right." He said they're gangsters.
Did you see that clip of some guy? He's got some protective vest or something, or looks like it, some kind of armor on his chest, and
Right.
he's daring ICE to come in. He's saying that if ICE comes to this thing, they're going to be killed. He's gonna open fire. Okay. I saw I saw another thing today about who this guy really is. He's really a tranny. You see him dressed with a wig and a sleeveless shirt, and he's saying that he does something about he didn't like cis women who wanted to put their hands all over his body and stuff.
You know what the worst thing about trans women, trans people, and they're not really trans because nobody moved from one position to the other. But anyway, you know,
Deluded people, deluded.
this is the problem with pseudo people. Okay, pseudo sex people.
That's a good one.
Okay, is that it makes you suspicious of everybody. So the thing is,
Yeah.
anytime you see an ugly woman, you go, "Is that person ugly enough to be a man?"
Well, no, but sometimes it's like the one I saw in the 60s. I didn't believe my friends when they said that's a woman. I said, no, it can't be. It's one of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen and walked like sexy and everything. And then I realized later on that, yeah, that is a guy. Holy shit. But he hung out with this other dude who also dressed like a woman.
Right.
But the ugliest woman. I mean, okay, this guy, his looks, his facial looks were on the scale of Maxine Waters.
I got the worst possible image for you. Okay, I was at Mardi Gras, and there was a hairy-faced, heavily bushy chest guy wearing a tutu and a tiara, and he had a butterfly wand. And my friend Malcolm goes, "What the fuck is that?" He's from and he heard him. The guy with the tiara heard him, and he went ahead and he goes, "Make a wish," and he tapped Malcolm on the groin with the wand, and Malcolm freaked out. He wanted to kill this guy. We were together. I was with 4 other guys. We had to hold Malcolm. We had to pull him out of there because he lost it. He freaking lost it. But it's also the funniest thing. It's like today, it was funny, but at the time, Malcolm could not play that game.
I remember I was waiting at the train station for somebody, I think it was, and I'm waiting outside upstairs, this little cement island where the train came up, and there was this tall black dude, obviously gay. I mean, flaming gay, talking on the phone with a friend, and back and forth. And I'm just doing my thing on my. I was reading, I think, and all of a sudden, he starts approaching me, and I hear him say, "Well, what do we have here?" Right? And I look up. I said, "Sorry, I don't go that way." He goes, "Well, you flatter yourself," and he turns around.
Wow. Chappelle made a funny joke, and he says, "I don't like it when homosexuals, when gays, okay, talk to me like I'm a cat." So he gave an example. He says, "I walk into a room and go, and they turn to me and look and go, 'What are you doing here?'" And I go, "Oh my God, that's how you talk to a cat." "Hey, cat, how you doing?" So funny. So funny. But, not that there's anything wrong with it.
I have nothing against homosexual. I wouldn't even have a problem with these transgenders or cross dressers if they didn't insist on being, referred to as what they are obviously not.
Well, the thing is
you have
that
people who've been fired from their jobs and stuff in recent years because they refuse to go with the delusion.
well, they're living a fantasy, and if you don't abide by that fantasy, it shatters their illusion, like you said. And so,
Yeah,
so they're delusional. They are suffering from gender dysphoria. And the thing is that I don't know what their problem is, but it's just, I'm sorry, but those are the cards you got dealt. Are you male or female? That's where
yeah.
you're born. You could be a Hermaphrodite. Those are the people who really got problems. Somebody who has both components. Now, supposedly,
But then again, you're never not going to have sex if you're on a deserted island with anyone.
well, that's assuming that your penis is big, and as soon as you have an erection, it's over. But anyway, the thing is that I think the people that are Hermaphrodites have a much tougher thing. Now, as I understand it, initially when they find out that a baby is born as a Hermaphrodite, the doctors can actually prefer one sex over the other, and sometimes those people actually develop into a particular sex. So, those are the cats who's got problems, unless, of course, you want to be in the porn industry, then you're going to make $1 million. But
there's the famous case. There was the guy who wrote a book about it years later, where when he was a baby, they were twins, and one of them, they screwed up the circumcision so bad that they wound up having to amputate his penis, and they tried to turn him into a girl. However, growing up, he was always more like a boy. And eventually, like they found out, no, they screwed up. They screwed up badly because this guy, it ruined his life totally.
Well,
I can't remember the name of the book.
That's an argument against circumcision. And the thing is that in a more unwholesome or unhealthy environment, circumcision makes a lot of sense. But in the modern day environment where you can wash yourself and stuff like that, it's unnecessary.
Well, if you wash yourself, I mean, if you're not living in India. Yeah, I remember, who was it? Crowder said, India is now so concerned with, because people shit on the streets all the time. So now they're putting up signs saying, please wash your hands after shitting in the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of shit in the streets, and Don Lemon has not been indicted for his role in the church invasion. But do you know that the Keith Ellison, the AG up there in Minnesota, he works for the judge. His wife, rather, works for the judge who refuses to order the arrest of Don Lemon.
Is that the same judge that they busted into her house and found millions of dollars?
I don't know. I don't think so.
There's been a recent entry into one of these judges' houses, and we found out that they were actually funneling cartel money.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it. Well, I heard about a judge getting caught.
It was lots and lots of money. So I think it was
millions, I think, right?
$100 million.
$100
if
million?
I'm correct.
Jesus Christ! Holy shit!
Well, I mean, it's expensive running a drug cartel. Jesus, what are you, from the Stone Age? So anyway, let's see. There we go.
Trying to see what else here.
Judge.
Do you know that the Biden administration gave $22 billion in grants, not loans, grants to illegals so that they could buy houses and businesses? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Federal judge. This might even be a different thing because it's not enough money.
As Americans,
federal judge's $44 million cartel empire exposed. That's a judge.
$44 million. He's an amateur.
Well, it probably,
cartels are usually in the billions. He's a small business owner. You know what? He probably got his start with the SBA through Biden.
Holy shit. 50 million cartel drug money scheme exposes ties to Chinese underground. That's That's pretty rough.
Yeah,
That's
I
from
am.
News Nation. Drug bust, 29 arrested in major money laundering. So, the thing is, I hear these things and they come and they go. Oh man, judge cartel money bust. Okay, in Minnesota.
Oh, you hear that the Democrats are threatening to block DHS funding, and we may have another Schumer shutdown.
I thought they handled that already.
No, this is something new, apparently. Senate Democrats threatened to block DHS funding bill after Border Patrol shooting. After shooting the guy who was pulling a gun on them.
Okay. Well, the thing is that reporting the truth is not popular.
Yeah, here's Schumer. What's happening in Minnesota is appalling and unacceptable in any American city. Democrats sought common sense reforms in the Department of Homeland Security spending bill, but because of Republicans' refusal to stand up to President Trump, the DHS bill is woefully inadequate to whatever the hell he continues. To rein in the abuses of ICE. He's that fucking scumbag, that piece of shit. I remember him a few years ago at a Chinese New Year celebration where he was pointing at every non-white in the crowd saying, "You are the future of this country. You're the future of this country. You're the future of this country."
Here we go. I think this is it. This is December the 12th, and this is the first I've heard of it. Here we go. Let's see. It says massive FBI raid on Somali judge in Minnesota. 26 dirty cops and cartel ties uncovered. And it says there was some money mentioned. Why can't I find it all of a sudden? It was a lot of. Oh, here it is. Seizure. This is a $154 million seizure. And they have evidence inside the judge's chambers. That's old news. That's old news. We talked about that a while ago. But I think there's a new one. So unless it was the same one that they just repeated. But anyway, the thing is that, guess what? Some of the reasons why some of these judges say no to ICE requests and FBI requests is because, dare I say, the judges are paid, and they're not just paid a little bit. They're paid
a lot.
A lot. So much money. They have I'm leaving the country money.
Yeah, you better leave the country.
Well, too late for that.
Babylon B ran this headline. Dems warned that ICE crackdowns will make illegal immigrants afraid to vote.
Major meth bust, 900 pounds seized in Minnesota. And this was posted on July? God damn it, I'm getting this stuff too late. I'm sorry, I'm not, yeah. Well, it's still good news, right? I remember the good old days when drugs was just smoking a little herb. The good old days. But if this is another one of those like that nurse that supposedly pulled out grabbed something from a holster and it looked like he was drawing on him on the ICE agent.
Yeah, and he had 2 magazines. First off, the gun was illegal. He had no permit or anything. And he also had 2 extra magazines. So he was out there to commit murder.
Well, sometimes I carry 2 magazines when I think we're in a hot day.
But you are doing it illegally, 1. 2, I'm just saying, you carry it because you can't carry a 15 or 30 round magazine. Okay, like the bad guys do.
Yeah, I can.
Well, you can, but it's kind of bulky, and people are like, "Hey, what the hell?" You'll get people who you're one of them.
I'm not looking for trouble, So I think that the only time when I'm going to have to pull out my firearm is in a very peculiar case, but I understand that everybody's into this, the more rounds the better, but I still prefer overall a straight stack because of the fact that straight stacks are less likely to jam in your magwell,
Yeah.
than
Right.
a staggered. But the other thing is that I've been comfortable. I have carried a snub nose revolver, 5 rounds. That's all I had in my pocket, and I didn't feel undergunned
Yeah.
because 5 rounds of 38, which is again not the most powerful round in the world, it's still highly respectable. And to be honest with you,
Better than the pointed stick.
anything in my section of the country that comes at me, I feel pretty secure with it. Plus, it's a revolver, so the revolver reliability is great.
Yeah. If you pull the trigger and it doesn't go bang, you just pull it again.
No, you throw the revolver. You throw if you have a steel revolver, you throw it. Hit that son of a bitch in the nose. Okay, so anyway, so this guy, his parents warned him not to misbehave, which leads me to believe that there was a very high chance that they felt that there was a high chance that he might misbehave. And if they thought that, then we're implying a certain degree of history of irrational behavior, and the guy is what was he, a nurse, male nurse?
That's what I heard. That's what I read.
Yeah. So
Alex Preddy, the armed man shot earlier today, is a longtime Democrat donor to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders.
Of course. Well, that doesn't make him bad. That just means that he didn't have good choices. But
He's stupid. He's stupid.
Well, I think so. But at the same time, the indoctrinated always think that the indoctrinated think they're doing the right thing. Unfortunately, they're not. But they're doing the right thing based upon what they were taught. So that's that. And let's see what else. For the last 4 or 5 days, all I've been hearing in the news reports is this massive storm is going to cause calamities across the entire country, and it's made me extremely nervous. Because like it's almost like, well, we have an asteroid the size of Rhode Island is going to hit the Earth, so there's going to be some problems. Going to be some down power lines, and atmospheric situations. Some of the atmosphere will be burnt away. Good news is that we'll go into global warming a lot faster. And
you won't have to pay for cremation. You won't have to pay for cremation. Everybody will get a free cremation.
Yep. Hell of a sunrise.
And those who aren't cremated will feed the soil so that years from now the soil will grow. Plants will come back and cover everything. Hey, by the way, speaking of covering everything, you know how sometimes they still find cities lost in the jungles of South America or Mexico or Africa? Okay. To this day, we still have not found. I mean, we keep finding traces of lost civilizations.
Right.
How the hell can they tell, oh, no, there's no civilization on Mars, no civilization on Jupiter, no civilization on wherever? How do they know? We can't even tell you what civilizations were here before recorded history. So how are we going to tell what was happening up there 1 million or 2 million years ago?
If you're really interested in looking at this, look under the term Bimini Road. Bimini Road.
Oh, I know that. They claim that might be part of Atlantis.
Right. It's this miles long rectangular track under the water in
Oh, it's
Bimini.
rectangular. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't remember that.
actually, it looks like a road, and it goes
Yeah.
on for miles. And so the thing is, it's not natural, okay?
No,
And
And it's
so it's
made
the
of
thing,
stones, made of like what you could. It looks like cobblestones, but they're
right?
big stones, and it goes on and on. And you know, who put
They,
that there? In
they,
Japan, also they have another city they found under the water
yeah,
off the coast
what's,
of
Plato
some
or
island.
Aristotle talked about Atlantis as a
Plato,
historical.
Plato,
Yeah. So the thing
Plato.
is that there are ancient people that talked about Atlantis. So it's possible that there could have been an upheaval and it dropped. That in combination with, let's say, the ice age
Tectonic
changing.
plates moving. Yeah, tectonic plates moving.
In
Yeah,
what is that? In the Philippines, there's a mountain, and they thought it was a natural mountain for Western civilization. Thought it was a natural mountain for years, but the Filipino people they knew better. It's made out of these railroad tie sized pieces of stone that are rectangular and literally piled on top of each other. They don't know how it happened. So there's a lot of Graham oh my God, Graham Dorsey,
Graham
Hancock. Thank you, Graham Hancock. Check out his Ancient Aliens video and learn
Yeah, it was like
things.
2 seasons, I think.
It's fantastic. It is an eye opener, and he introduces you to locations that are absolutely amazing and makes you ask the big question, how the hell did that happen? Such as there's an underground city in Turkey that is 8 or 10 levels deep that could have held close to 20,000 people. Underground.
It's something Quebec-y or something?
Yes. So the thing is that this kind of endeavor with today's technology would have been a major undertaking, if at all possible. And here's the other thing. Yeah. The lowest level is directly above a waterway, an underground river, which means they had fresh water available to them without having to go outside. So I mean,
the ruins in what about the ruins out in Peru? I think it is, where you can't even fit a business card in between the cracks. Okay,
and the stones no
mortar; they're just fit perfectly onto each other. Okay, and you can't put a piece of paper through there.
Just imagine how lucky they were to find those stones.
Yes. Oh, last night I was reading that there's some famous portal there, a door that everybody, they call it the door to nowhere because it's a door made of stone, but they can't open it. It just doesn't seem to go anywhere except into the rock. But the locals' legend has it that this was a door that was never meant for humans to enter. It was meant for other races to come through into our world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
quite possible. You know the
I saw another video where China they buried 300 sites when they put that dam up a few years ago. 300 archaeological sites that they suspect, and there are some tombs in Egypt, I think it was, in Egypt, that the sarcophagi are huge, and they claimed that these were for bulls, ceremonial bulls they buried there, and of course the Antiquities Commission, they removed the contents of the sarcophagi for preservation. Nobody ever sees them again. Okay. What the speculation is, these were actually tombs of Nephilim kings. Nephilim were supposedly 10 to 12 or 9 to 12 feet tall, somewhere in there, and they had
giants.
6 fingers and 6 toes. The giants. And there's a place here in the United States that they found a giant there, and now it's disappeared because the Indians took it because it proves that they were not the first ones on this continent. The remains were that old, and the remains were of a giant, and the giant was somehow related to Caucasians rather than Asians. Well,
the interesting thing is the archaeologists, who you would think would have a scientific motivation, a lot of their decisions have been political. So that's one of the reasons why Graham, what's his last name again?
Hancock.
Graham
Hancock. And others too. There are others. There are a bunch of others that they are discounted by archaeologists because they're not really archaeologists. You know what? They have more knowledge than you. They've uncovered more truths than you have. You guys are going along with the same old story. There's proof that the pyramids are older than 3,000 years. And the Great Pyramid was supposed to be a tomb. So the three pyramids were supposed to be tombs. Not a single casket has been found in any of them. Okay?
Well,
so the stones these were the ones that are aligned to what?
The stones themselves
the pyramids aligned with Orion. Which, by the way, there are, I think, 2 other sites in the world where you have pyramids that are in the same position. One here, and one slightly off center. And they also align to Orion. One in South America, one in Asia, I think.
The heights of the pyramids actually are scaled to the sun and some other planets.
Yeah. And also, remember, they used to have limestone on them, and they shone like a beacon. So some people think they were also a way for visitors from the sky to find the place to land. They were supposed to land there. It was like having a lighthouse these days.
My my ex-wife's mother knew a man that came from Peru, and he swore up and down that there was a location, a lake in Peru, where people would sit down, and every once in a while, a saucer would either go down into the water at the lake or come out of it.
I've heard that. And I've also heard that happen in off the coast of California. I forget off what city, but people supposedly have seen things going in and out of the ocean off of California. I can't remember where though.
Another interesting thing is I believe they discovered in Ethiopia portions of AOC's brain.
Really?
Yeah. It seems that, and it's rather substantial. About 60 to 70% of her brain was found in Ethiopia. They believe that at some point when she was talking, some of it fell out. And she was getting along just fine without it, it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, stranger stories.
It must have been very difficult to find that's such a tiny thing, 60% of her brain. Yeah.
Well, they're diligent people. What can I tell you? So,
oh my God, three people have already been found dead on New York City streets amid the harsh winter storm. What the hell? Huh.
A great opportunity for somebody to get stabbed in the back and left in the snow.
Oh yeah, I heard this the other day. The Chicago police chief said in a press conference, federal agents are officers, and if you attack them, you're going to get it.
Stupid. You do stupid.
Stupid Adam Schiff, that scumbag. Trump flooding the streets with agents shooting Americans in cold blood. No bullshit, asshole. You're the only person in the fucking country who should be shot in cold blood because you're such a fucking traitor.
Well, the thing is that somebody choked him one time and his eyes popped out and it ain't been right yet. Yeah, Adam Schiff is just a goofy looking guy. He's like, hopefully he didn't breed.
I think he's a fag. I don't think he's breeding. I don't know.
No,
New
well,
Jersey
that's
Governor
good.
Sherrill. This is idiot that the New Jersey Democrats installed, because I don't believe she won the election, because she was losing
Okay.
in the evening, and then in the morning suddenly she was the winner. ICE is terrorizing American agents, American citizens, says she. What a stupid bitch that this state has now as a governor.
Wait a second. Did you say American citizens?
She's saying
ISIS
American
is
citizens. Yeah,
American
terrorizing American
citizens.
citizens. Bullshit.
That means that
Actually, you have leftist American citizens trying to terrorize ICE.
well, if they're American citizens, that would be wrong. But if they're illegals,
Then they should
maybe
be
they're not
terrorized.
American citizens. Yeah.
They should be terrorized. Yeah. You know what?
Well, you know what the thing is that yes, I understand that you have these people that are you have a lot of illegal aliens, especially in Somaliland. So the thing is that yeah, if you've been entrenched there for a while, and let's say you're one of the 5% of the Somali that actually is not a bad guy, and you've been doing like you're saying, you've been cleaning people's houses, doing whatever you can do, and then ICE is coming along, yeah, I'd be scared, because if you don't know how big a broom they've got. But ICE agents, as I understand it, their priority is to pursue
criminal.
people that are not just criminals, but dangerous criminals. Because if you're an illegal, you're a criminal. If you're a rapist, a murderer, or etc., and have said hello to the judge more than 10 times, yeah, you're a pretty bad criminal.
And this is why ICE has to go on the streets to get them again, because the Democrats keep releasing these people who have been captured after a crime, incarcerated, and then released by these Democrat-appointed judges. The corruption, oh my God, the corruption.
Let's see if I can
this
find
idiot
this.
governor here in New Jersey, what an asshole. And she was talking to Dana Bash, another moron. Of course, Bash is going to give her a platform. Oh, what a scumbag. Oh, she's just been in office a few weeks, and already I hate her fucking guts.
That's okay. You can dislike her. You have a right. By the way, new report, and this is from The Root. I never heard of them. It says homicides down in 40 American cities. Murder rate drops, lowest level. See, I told people this, and they don't want to believe it. They think it's a lie. Lowest since 1900 across the United States, nationwide per capita. So
yeah, part of that I think is because we're carrying again.
Well, I think part of that is also because there are the officers that are responsible for capturing these people. They now know that Trump and his people have their back, that they're not going to lose their job if they do their job. I mean,
well, I saw a threatening poster by some jackass leftist saying that attention ICE officers, attention ICE, Donald Trump will not always be president, and once they're gone, we're going to know who you are. We're coming for you. I mean, that's a direct threat. That person should be in jail already.
Well, it's false bravado, because if they actually had to face these guys, they probably would beg for mercy. It happens all the time,
Arizona's Democrat AG, who, by the way, seems to be a DEI also. ICE officers are not real law enforcement. What a jackass.
Yeah. Well, there are federal officers, and they may have a different distinction, but I don't know anything about that. They are enforcing the law.
They are
immigration
law enforcement.
That is their job, Wow. And here's another one on 1900.
Oh, did you
Homicide
see the
rates dropped.
federal agent who got his finger bitten off? You
By
hear?
who? A person?
I don't know. They had two photos. I don't know if it was the man or the woman who bit his finger off. And Pam Bondi says both of them are going to get the full extent of the law crashing down on them.
Yes. And you notice that she's all of a sudden, she has a lot more freedom doing this stuff.
Well, she's saying she told Minnesota Democrats accountability is coming.
Yes. I've heard that from more than one source. You know? Wow, man. I'm telling you. Carjacking in Washington, D.C. has declined by 61%.
Oh, I thought it was even higher than that it declined.
Well, 61%? That's a lot, man. So you have to ask yourself, how often did that happen? I don't know. But
yeah.
Shoplifting down by 10% in Washington, D.C. Violent homicides. Okay, given the recent volatility in crime rates, the analysis also compares 2025 levels with their most recent peaks. All major offense categories show substantial declines. Okay, violent crime, homicides, minus 44%. Aggravated assault, minus 19%. Gun assaults, minus 44%. Sexual assaults, minus 6%. Domestic, from 2021. These are all from 2021, by the way. Domestic violence incidents, minus 23% from 2018. Robbery, minus 39% from 2018. Carjacking, minus 61% from 2023. Nonviolent crimes are dropping too. Residential
countrywide or DC? You're still talking?
This is nationwide.
Nationwide.
51% less burglaries. Non-residential burglaries, minus 28%. So there's still, they go, oh, you don't live there? I'll rob your ass. Larceny, minus 20%. This is all since 2018. Shoplifting, down 10%. Motor vehicle thefts, minus 43% from 2023. And drug offenses, minus 42%. Wow, man. Crime is no longer profitable.
Arizona's Democrat AG suggests that shooting ICE is lawful under Stand Your Ground. Meanwhile, the police association is blasting her reckless comments. Wow. She's a DEI, obviously. She's just as unqualified as Ketanji Brown, okay, because she doesn't know the law. She does not know the law. You shoot or attack an ICE officer, you're going to get the full, you're going to get full retaliation.
You're going to get life, and you might even get the penalty.
You might get the death penalty at the moment.
I think if I was Trump, I would consider the possibility of saying, if you kill an ICE agent, you get the death penalty.
No questions about it.
No questions asked.
And no 10-month or 10-year appeals process. Fuck that.
Well, no, you got to give them an appeals process, but it has to be done, let's say, within a timely period. Let's say
nothing lasting 10 or 20 years where they outlived the grandkids of the people they killed. Shit.
Right. Well, the thing is that if you murder somebody and you're still alive for 20 years, you won.
Yeah.
So the thing is that, and here's another interesting thing. My, what was it? 401k. I've actually seen over the past year, a significant improvement in its total value. And I'm not putting more money into it. It's just what because it's backed up by the stocks and so forth like that. So we're getting stronger, and also I believe the inflation rate has dropped down to 2.4%. Let me just double check that. It was like when Trump took office, I believe it was 9%.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Oh, this is a couple of days ago. Mexican president admits that mass migration is a tool to reclaim and conquer America's Southwest. They're trying to conquer a territory that they held for a total of 27 years, that they took from Spain. Then they had to give it up to us because they started a war with us. We finished it and we took over those lands. Those lands have been in our possession longer than, I think probably longer than even Spain had them by now. I'm not sure.
Well, here's what I say to Mexico. Come and get it. Come and get it, you back bastard. So anyway,
yeah.
Here's the inflation rate. 2.03%. That is amazing. It was at 15.
I know unemployment is way down too.
Okay, so it was at oh well. I don't know how to read this graph. Sorry. That's the way it goes. That is the freaking way it goes. But yeah, every once in a while I see something, I just don't know how to interpret it. Oh, okay, so it's not okay. But in 2023 it was 6.41%. And now it's at 2.03. So, and that's in January. So
there's a book here that Peter Schweitzer wrote.
It was in 20. Wow, and 2022 in the month of June, it was 9.06%. So that's the number I guess I remember, and now it's 2.03%. So
wait. Also, remember, the Biden administration was playing with the numbers because a lot of people couldn't get jobs after a while. They just dropped out of the job market, and they were not counted. Yeah. So the number would be closer to 18%. Some people
No. This is not affected by the old regime. This is like real numbers. Yeah, they lied at the time.
Real numbers. What I'm saying is a lot of people. This is unemployment, correct?
No, the inflation rate.
Oh, the inflation. I'm sorry. I thought you were still talking about
unemployment. About the unemployment. They people coming back to jobs that they left because of COVID is not an increase in jobs. That's bullshit.
Also, people who stopped looking for a job because they couldn't find one, they were no longer counted as unemployed because they were not collecting unemployment benefits anymore. So
I'm looking up the cost of living.
Thousands of Chinese pilots are trained every year in California and Arizona, strengthening the CCP's military power. That's fucking ridiculous. We should do no training for fucking Chinese.
Here's the thing: when I was in basic training, and I happened to see this guy coming out of this building in Lackland. And I'm looking at him, and I couldn't recognize his uniform. And I had just joined the military, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And there happened to be an officer next to me, and he goes ahead and he says, he's Iraqi. I said, really? What's he doing here? He says, we're training him. Really? I said, that doesn't sound right. He says, yeah, someday we're probably going to have to fight his ass.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cost of living in the United States. Let's see what's going on. Family of 4, monthly cost $6,427. Single person, $3,000. This is nationwide. Okay, so let's see.
What does this refer to?
Cost of living in the United States.
Cost of living. Okay.
Yeah.
Housing depends where you live too. Up here, it's a lot more expensive than where I am. It's a lot more expensive than where you are, and where you are is more expensive than somewhere out in the Midwest or down south.
Well,
outside the cities, of course.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I accidentally fell into my house. I mean, it was damaged, and I had to rework it. I spent 5 to 6 months working on it. I got it for basically less than half of what it's worth today, and we're talking about basically over a 6-year period, and only because of the fact that people from New York and New Jersey, when COVID hit, they ran to Pennsylvania, and all of a sudden, all of the property went up in value. And since my place is cranking, I'm a happy guy. It went up in value. But here's the thing: it didn't go up so much in value that I could sell it and find a comparable place, let's say someplace else that suits me. No, I don't know. I don't think I could do better. So I'm real happy with and I hate moving.
Unless you can find a place that's outside of flood zone.
Yeah, that would be nice. But again, the people, they've improved the area. And so, one of the my concerns that I have with the snow is when spring does come and rains hit, it magnifies the flow. But again, I have things set up. I have my sump pump set up. I have a hydraulic pump set up. And I have seen 6 to 8 inches in my what some people would call a basement. I call it my lower floor. And I don't spend a lot of time down here. It's just a utility room and stuff. But I did some things like I bought tables.
Lower floor because it goes right out into onto the backyard.
Yes. It actually goes onto a deck and then it drops down to the yard. So it is essentially, I would say, 5 feet above ground level, but it's also sloping ground that goes into the creek. But the thing is that again, I got hit by about 6 inches to 8 inches in my lower section, and I got through it, and I wasn't as well prepared as I am now.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So I could actually keep that water out a lot easier because I have the hydraulic pump, and then on top of that, my sump pump is working now. So, it's listen. If this place was not in a flood zone, I wouldn't have been able to have bought it. So that's the other side of it.
Yeah.
So it's just like there's nothing that's perfect. Everybody has something. Like you live in an apartment, you don't have your own outside space. Okay, Now that's a good thing and a bad thing. It all depends on what we're talking about. Like you can't go outside and just hang out and know that that's your space. Nobody's going to intrude.
Yeah, if I had a balcony, it'd be a different story. But
right.
Remember, I came from originally. I had a house, and I had 2 houses actually. My ex still lives in a nice big house, and I'm in a 1-bedroom, but it's a nice 1-bedroom. It's a nice community.
Really nice location when you consider how much services are around. You can get anything you want within a mile.
If I had to, I could walk to the ShopRite. It's a mile away, not even.
There you go. Right.
Okay.
But here's my
even closer. Acme's a quarter of a mile away.
Here's the good news. For every deficit, there's an asset. So one of the things I have going for me is and this is kind of stupid because I have a survivalist
You're in the city, basically.
But if everything fell apart, I have a creek behind me. I can always access water. Water is critical, in a survival situation. So I have water. I have access. One of the cool things that I have is I cross the bridge and I get cheap gas in New Jersey. I get it for anywhere from 30 to 50 cents less per gallon than I would pay in Pensy. transportation-wise, I can jump on more than one highway very quickly. Yet, and I'm in the downtown
Interstate.
area.
You got two interstates going past you.
Right. Now, here's another cool thing is that I'm in the downtown area, but I'm on the outskirts of it. So if there's an
Yes.
event going on downtown in 2 blocks, actually 3, if I walk 3 blocks, I'm in the festival. So
Yeah, and you walk
that's
back
real-
and you're in peace and quiet again.
right. Plus, there's 2 parks where I can bicycle that are 2 blocks away from me. So, and then those like the D&L Trail that goes all the way down to Philly. That goes along the Delaware, and then the other one is the Carl Steiner Trail that goes way up into Tatamay and stuff like that. It's really beautiful. Goes along the Bushkill. So, you know, I have so much to be thankful for, and yes, it is really uncomfortable thinking about the idea of getting flooded. But I think it's also God's way of teaching me a lesson. Every time when I'd hear about people on the Mississippi getting flooded, you're getting the water coming back over their dams or whatever, levees, and they're getting hammered and them crying the blues.
Really.
I think you go, you dumb bastards. Why don't you just move somewhere else? And now I'm living the same thing and I'm going, but I really like it here. So, you know, the thing is that the Mississippi is gorgeous. It really is. You know, it's like any other river. And, man, and it is big. The Mississippi is so big. When I crossed it the first time, it was like I was crossing this huge lake. It was amazing. It was like, oh my God, it's so big. It doesn't even seem architecturally possible to have a bridge run across it. You know what I mean? It's that big. Why are we going on and off?
No, I did that to get a better picture of you because you had a picture going down, and my picture was like I was like hunched down. So I took a better picture for.
The people are more interested in me than they are in you. I'm just, you know.
Hold on,
really...
keep that pose. I'll get a picture of that one. That's even better. There you go. And you're in front of the flag. You're looking at the camera. It came out good.
So I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want?
Okay. This was an off the cuff impromptu episode.
How long did we record? How long is the recording?
We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes and 44 seconds right now.
Wow, and so much information
you can
in that.
Talk, boy.
What? I'm alone in this conversation? Come on.
Anyway, there's so much more that we could talk about too, but you know, we're not organized for it. We're not set up. We weren't ready for this. What?
How much more?
Like Schweitzer's new book. Schweitzer's new.
That towelhead up in New York, Mandami. Yeah, he said, regardless of whether you're a legal alien or not, the medical facilities are all available to you at no cost.
Oh, apparently he got beat in court. I didn't read the whole thing. I haven't read it yet, but there was something where he was trying to stop an Israeli company from buying some real estate in New York. And the court said, no, you can't do that.
He is such a dick.
Oh my God.
Is that, you know, he's basically another form of Obama. He's another guy that
another Muslim socialist.
Yes,
communist.
He does have charisma. I mean, every time when I listen to him talk, I go, I want to like this guy, but I know.
I look at him and I can tell his smile is fake.
I understand that, but
he's a phony.
He has natural charisma. And
to the left, yes, he does.
Give the devil his due.
Wait. That's what Peter Schweitzer says in his book. He said that the radical left and Islamists are working together in a marriage of convenience to destroy the United States. Okay?
Sure.
And you can see it every fucking day on the streets.
Yep.
Minneapolis. Yep. Yeah. I hope to God that Fry and Waltz wind up in prison before the end of the year, because they are definitely and they definitely knew about the the theft, the fraud that was going on there, and I'm sure that they've lined their pockets. And I hope they get found out. I hope the weight of the federal government comes down on their heads and squashes them like bugs. The bugs they are. Vile, filthy pieces of crap that they are.
Well, the thing is that okay. Let's see if I can get this information that I wanted to find before. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Cost of living versus. Well, I guess the inflation rate is that. Okay, so yeah, the thing is that these people they're using communism to exhaust the nation, so this way it collapses. Because if you reach a point where you can no longer cover the costs, then the organization has to crash and burn. It has to close down. You have to be able to pay the people that are working there, et cetera, et cetera. Even volunteers need electricity. So the thing is that this is a form of attack. That's what it is. It's an assault on our well-being. It's an assault on our nation. It's an assault on decency. It's an assault on traditionalism. It's an assault on our genetic nature. On our Constitution.
Those assholes, Waltz and Fry, they are so concerned and so upset that these people who are attacking ICE agents are getting killed, but they have not expressed any single concern about any injuries to ICE agents.
2 people. Here's the thing. There's 2 people.
Just two front and center. They're leading it. They're causing all this unrest because they're inciting violence.
Well, here's the thing. If you have a bunch of professionals that are trained, whether they're Marines, ICE agents, FBI, police force, whatever, and you get the citizenry is not trained, okay? And you tell them to snub these guys, to insult them, to push them back, to get them out of your neighborhood. Well, guess what? Pressure is going to be the point where somebody does something that is so extreme on the wrong side of that line that they're going to have to be put down in some manner. Now, if you're fortunate, and if you're the authoritarian force, if you're fortunate, these people can be subdued without any real media event. But the thing is that if there is a situation like this last buffoon that pulled a gun on an ICE agent and got shot in return, okay, then what happens is all of the activity that took place before the shot happened disappears. And what do we have? ICE agent killed so-and-so. That's all we got. That's it. Not ICE agent defended himself, and in doing so,
his comrades and his colleagues.
Too. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but you're absolutely right. Here's the thing:
this guy was fighting about 5 or 6 of them.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. The problem was I tried finding videos, and my search engine couldn't find anything really substantial, so I couldn't see it. But the thing is that maybe that's changed. But the thing is that it's like George Floyd. George Floyd died, and there is a police officer that happened to be engaged with him. So what happens? Cop is where man dies. So we're going to blame the cop. Did they ever free that cop?
Was he ever still in jail because it's a state that Trump can't apparently pardon him because it's a state conviction, and the problem is the jury, members of the jury have came out publicly a couple of years after the incident and said we were pressured to find him guilty because we were afraid that there'd be riots and everything afterward. The riots happened anyway. And meanwhile, this poor guy, he got stabbed 17 times a couple of years ago. Okay?
Well, the
in
thing
prison.
is that there were riots, but I'm quite sure there were fear of their family because let's say if those people said, no, he's innocent, they're going to go after him the same way they go after the ICE agents. They'll show up at your house. They'll you know what I mean? The thing is that, am I going to sacrifice my family or this person I don't know? I'm going to sacrifice him. In either case, there's wrongdoing going on. Now, the thing is that it's terrible. And
yeah, they were threatened. And some of them were threatened outright. Some of them knew the threat existed.
In that particular case,
and others were trying to save the city.
The jury should have been, should not have been made public.
The trial should have been moved elsewhere. They should have had a change of venue. Okay? A change of venue would have been best. Even if it was still in state.
Well, okay? You know what? We're also talking about Jan 6ers. There's another group of people there's a group of people there that ended up in jail that shouldn't have. Why? Because their opposition, their political opposition, thought it was a good message to say, by the way, if you stand against this, you're going to jail, regardless of your innocence. So, going to jail is no longer a price for having broken the law. It's now a price for having disagreed with political strengths.
Yes. It's a totalitarian system. It's a two-tiered justice system.
Well, I think there's less of that going on now, hopefully, but it seems that the judges that are in place, they're really creepy. So, so we still have,
and we've got 200 judges that Trump has appointed that can't get confirmed because of the Democrats. So we need to kill the fucking filibuster. And John Thune is proving to be a fucking rhino. He's useless. When he was nominated as the head of the Senate, president of the Senate, I knew that we were in trouble. Okay.
Well, the thing, we've gone through 1 year. A lot has been done. We've seen a lot of progression. So we're not on the downhill yet. Okay. The talk has been.
I hope the yet never comes.
Well, here's the thing. The talk has been that once people start getting improved income tax returns and we start seeing that money rejuvenate the nation, people will have different views. But like somebody I know that's close to me that we're not going to talk about, no matter what good news that you tell them, they will say basically this: one good thing does not make up for all of this tyranny.
What tyranny? Thing. The tyranny is on the other side. It's on the left. There was a tyranny for 4 years under Biden. Holy shit! Oh, and also the fucking Washington Post. They had the headline about the 5-year-old kid getting detained, which he wasn't detained. And in paragraph 5, they admit, no, the ICE agents stayed behind to watch the kid to keep him safe.
Oh, wait a second.
Wait a second. After the guy who bolted, leaving his son.
Now, Governor Walz is calling Trump a tyrant, and he's the governor of
that faggot, corrupt piece of shit.
Yeah, and don't we have like governors in New York and New Jersey that are also agreeing with Governor Walz? Don't they count for something?
Yeah, they're leftist pieces of shit also. They're anti-American, anti-constitutional. They're fighting New York and New Jersey especially in Illinois, fighting the Bruin decision every chance they get, wasting millions and millions of taxpayer dollars, fighting something that they know they're ultimately going to lose, but just doing it and using our tax money to fight against our rights.
there is a criminal technique that you can use to dominate somebody by simply turning anything that they say into an insult. If they say, yeah, I think that you're pretty smart. Oh, what do you think? I need you to tell me that for me to know that?
Exactly.
So no matter what they say, you can turn it into an insult. And
Let me
the
be
left
clear.
is the
Let me
same
be
way.
clear about something here. Okay? Let me be clear. Like Obama used to say. Governor Hochul, Governor Sherrill, Governor Whitmer, Governor Walz, Governor Newsom, Governor whatever the fuck her name is in California, in Arizona, the one who stole the election there. You are all scum. You are all anti-American. You should all be in jail. You're all corrupt to one degree or the other. Whether you're taking money or whether you're creating false elections, you're all corrupt and you all suck. And I hope you all wind up in prison. Holy shit!
Now, Roy and I are both on this podcast, but I have to disagree with his terminology, because if I address the subject that he just mentioned, I would actually be rude compared to his generous, complimentary terminology.
Oh, this goes for you too, Shapiro.
Not mine. But they firebombed his house.
Yeah, you don't think that might have been a setup, like the faggot senator here in New Jersey who happened to be walking to work, happened to be walking to City Hall.
No, I don't think it was a setup. I think that somebody got pissed off. They had enough of him, and they did something. And yes, when you firebomb a man's house, it's an indiscriminate action. Okay, which means, the target that you're aiming for.
Let me ask you this: were he and his family home when it happened?
I don't think so.
If they were home, I could have doubts about it.
Okay.
But no, I think it was a setup. It's a sympathy set. This is a guy. His campaign when he runs for president in 3 years is going to be, the enemy tried to firebomb my house.
Well, you know what? He is Jewish, so it could have been Jewish lightning. But the thing is that
that's the only thing I believe. It could have been because he's Jewish. Yes.
Well, no, but the thing is that I think
I don't believe he was ever in danger.
I have no idea. I haven't looked into it, and the thing is that I disagree with the action regardless. And this. So the thing is that there's been a lot of emotions in the country. It's quite possible that somebody, for whatever reason, maybe just because he's Jewish, not even political, it could be, because the thing is that one of the reasons why they didn't let him run as vice president was because he was Jewish.
That's exactly why, yeah.
So the thing is that there's a anti-Jewish line going on, and
the stupid Jewish population of New York still votes Democrat.
Yes. Well, you know what? I don't know what the problem is, but the thing is that it doesn't make sense to me. The thing is that there's I forget there was a number of Democrats. I forget. There was a number of Jewish donors that just disappeared all of a sudden that were very important to the various Democratic
it could
functions.
also be that certain Jewish community leaders may or may not be getting paid by the Democrats to keep their people voting Democrat. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't understand why anyone who's Jewish would vote for this guy. I don't know anyone who is an American should vote for this guy. This guy's anti-American. He's a liar. And the thing is that his policies will bankrupt the city and indirectly directly harm the state. And the thing is that every time he turns around, somebody says, "No, you can't do that." our cities are in trouble, and unfortunately, they tend to be Democratic because a lot of the people that are looking for a what might be called a liberal lifestyle will find a lot of culture and freedom and art, etc. All those little lovely little things that you like,
Yeah.
and the cities are good for that. If you know, and so, but the thing is that unfortunately, um, uh, I think a person's liberal lifestyle is best served in a Republican state because of the fact that laws will be abided by, and the laws are
Until they
not
take over.
out.
Look what happened to New Hampshire and other places like that, Washington State, Oregon. They've been taken over by these nature-loving leftists who went there, and now they control it. And this is why you
I
got
think
half the population in Oregon wants to secede from the state.
I think you're confusing Vermont for New Hampshire. I think that was
Vermont,
the
no,
issue
no.
in
New
Vermont.
Hampshire used to be reliably Republican voting in the at
I thought they
election
went
time.
red this year. Didn't they go red?
They did this year for the first time in a long time. But they
Okay.
they were red years ago, a few decades ago. Then they became blue.
Well, the biggest problem
Or
is not
purple,
necessarily
anyway.
Yeah, the problem is that does the party represent what you consider American ideals? And the Democratic Party does no longer represents American ideals, and it's taking people a while to realize that. It's like if you get in your car and you go to work every freaking day in that car, and after about 3 or 4 years, all of a sudden, things are not. It's not working as well. But you go, well, I still made it to work. After a while, you get used to lower performance. So the thing is that I think people have gotten used to the Democrats slowly chipping away at what we consider essential
It's the
truths.
frog in the boiling pot. Okay.
But remember, Trump won a mandate vote. There were no swing states that were lost. Okay, that is amazing. Kamala Harris didn't win any of the counties anywhere. I mean, she was a complete dud.
Yeah.
So, that America has spoken.
Yeah, but you still have people on the left claiming that the election was rigged, that he didn't really win, and so on and so forth. It's bullshit. And oh my God,
it's not hard to believe. It's not hard to believe that you believe that the election is rigged when you consider the history of elections. There's so many elections that are questionable. I mean, look at the 2020 election. You and I absolutely believe that it's rigged. So why should we trust the next election if our boy doesn't go in? If we look at the numbers and we go, I'm not quite sure about that. Why? Because we've lost our confidence in the election process. That's one of the things that has to be sacred in this country. We have to have an immaculate election process. And so this way, Stalin can roll over in his grave. Did you get the reference? I thought you'd appreciate that. Because you said that the person who wins the election is the guy who counts the votes.
All right, we've gone over an hour and a half already. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, we did it. Now I can go out and shovel some snow.
Gosh, I was just listening because I heard something going on in it, but it looks like the maintenance guys are already clearing the paths, the walking paths in front of the building. So
right.
Anyway, it's
going to be good.
It's not snowing as heavy as it was a little while ago, but let me see what the weather thing says. Weather.
The weather. Let's look at the weather thing.
Heavy snow forecasted for the next hour. Right up until 11 p.m. it's supposed to snow.
Well, yeah, our biggest numbers over here. Let me just check. They said last time I looked, they said 3 p.m. is when it's going to start getting better. Let's see.
It's going to be less after 3 p.m., but it's still supposed to continue. Illumination, next full moon. Oh, what the hell? All right, precipitation here.
Okay.
I didn't want this page.
100%. Okay, so right now we're at 100%. At 5 p.m. it goes down to 80%, and at 11 p.m. down to 20%, 50%. 2 a.m. 0. So at 2 a.m. it'll be Ungatz. What's nice is the next day looks good.
Okay, they're saying that the last 24 hours we've gotten 14 inches of snow, and the next 24 hours we're going to get 7 to 9 plus a wintry mix, which is snow and sleet.
Well, I know we didn't get 14 over here because we had nothing this morning. I looked out and everything was dry. It didn't start snowing until about, I would say 7 o'clock or so.
Yeah, it was 7 o'clock. Until yesterday, they were saying it was going to start at 3 o'clock. And so, but then yesterday it changed. They said, no, 7 o'clock. And that's probably when it started.
The nice thing is I already cleared out about 4 inches of snow. So when I go out now, I'll just make that happen. So I'll catch you later, brother.
All right. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this impromptu episode of The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines, and we'll see you again next time. By the way, we did have an episode released this morning. So what do you think? Should I release this now, or should I release it today or tomorrow morning? What do you say?
I think it might be more interesting tomorrow. If you do whatever you want to do, man.
I'll see when I finish processing it. Okay.
Right.
So long, folks. Stay safe and stay warm.
Right. God bless you all.
Oh,
let's see.
That's what I want.
So